Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. So I figured we could do another playtime session with the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun palette because for one I really feel like playing with this eyeshadow palette a bit more, and secondly I just really thought it would be nice to do a look that is centered a bit more around like the warmer orangey red tones, because last time I didn't really manage to show you those because I played very unpredictably with the green shades in here. And I just wanted to, hang out and talk to you again about this eyeshadow palette. Okay, while I'm doing my makeup I'm going to continue chatting, so just let me tell you the first two shades I'm going to go into are this transition shade here, the light brown, and then I'm going to deepen up with this gorgeous brick muted red color. So I'm going to lay this shade here in my crease and then start blending it up towards my brow bone with a fluffy blender brush. And I just wanted to run something by you. I fully realized that in the last months I have been almost like a Pat McGrath promo channel, and you might be getting sick of me talking about Pat McGrath, but the reason I ramble so much about Pat McGrath is because my purchases this year, like my whole makeup shopping experience this year, has been vastly different from other years. Other years I might have snagged a couple of Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, I might have snagged more Juvia's Place palettes, there would have been a lot more eyeshadow palette makeup shopping. However, this year I have really put the brakes on myself in terms of like mid-range eyeshadow palettes that I don't really need because I probably already have these colors. And while I am a little bit conflicted about ABH and the new Norvina collection because it is just so incredibly overwhelming, like 3 huge eyeshadow palettes with what seems like dozens of colors in them that like half of them look the same. The only thing I really enjoy about this release is actually their campaign for it, because I think the campaign looks absolutely stunning. Like the images, the promo images for it with Norvina on them, especially the last one with the butterfly, sublime. That being said though, I have absolutely no interest in buying any of these palettes because they just look super random, super jumbled, and just I don't get the color stories of these palettes. I'm going to deepen up the crease with the brick red shade. So like I said, in other years I might have been really tempted to purchase those palettes because in the end of the day they are probably a great formula, they are Anastasia Beverly Hills, and they are colors that I would normally be really attracted to, like colors. But because I'm pretty sure I already have these colors, and because recently I have been, I don't know, I feel like I've stepped away a little bit from the super colorful looks. Like, that being said, it's not like I all of a sudden started wearing very neutral makeup. You can go to my Instagram and you will still see that I have like full-on blue and green smoky eyes and orange and yellow and stuff like that. But I do feel like the pastel type of super colorful eye looks are not something that I do on a regular basis as I used to. I've just transitioned into more, I don't know, I don't want to say wearable because I really don't like that term, but a bit more toned down looks maybe? Yeah, maybe that's the word. A bit more toned down looks, and I've just really been enjoying it. So I made it a rule for myself this year that I am only going to buy things that I think are truly special to my collection, things that I'm going to get a lot of joy out of, and it's not something that I'm going to use once because it's bright and shiny and new and then kind of cast it aside, but I'm really going to focus on things that are truly going to bring me joy. And it sounds really privileged to say that, but luxury makeup and especially Pat McGrath products have been what brings me that kind of joy and that kind of feeling of like, oh, I want something really special now. So that is a little bit the reason why you've been seeing a lot of Pat McGrath videos and you've been seeing more luxury brands mentioned on my channel. That's not to say I still don't enjoy more mid-tier range makeup, but there just hasn't been anything in the mid-tier range recently that has sparked my interest. For a hot second there I considered getting the Jackie Aina palette because I think that is the only truly beautiful release that they have had this year, something more special, curated, and I don't know, a bit more well thought through, I want to say. Not to be offensive to ABH, but I feel like a lot of their other releases just looked so much like each other and they were so quick after one another. I don't fucking know what's going on. Anyway, And I'm fully aware of the fact that buying luxury makeup and expensive makeup would probably bring joy to a lot of people, and I come from a very privileged place when I say that I've focused on buying that because that's what brings me most joy. It would probably bring joy to a lot of other people who just can't afford it, and I'm fully aware of that. Trust me, I don't come from luxurious circumstances. I come from a very modest family in what would be considered an almost third world country. But because now I'm in a position in life when I don't have to worry about money so much, in the sense that I don't make a ton, but I can also afford to splurge on something luxurious every month if I only buy that one luxurious thing instead of the 5 mid-tier things that I would buy otherwise. I have really had no regrets about the things that I did not purchase. There were a lot of releases that I was really close to. Interesting. If I blend this shade, I feel like it becomes a bit more brown. Do you see that? Huh. So there were a ton of releases that I was very tempted by this year. Among others, the Menagerie Whale Song Palette, the Cleona Multichromes, like I said, a couple of Anastasia releases that I probably would have otherwise been really excited by. What else? Sadly, Urban Decay still hasn't done anything that I want to buy. Yeah, so overall there have been a couple of things in the more mid-tier range that have really had my interest, but nothing has pushed me so far as to click on the purchase button. A recommendation from me is, if you're going to use this shade, a Blood Moon 005 shade, do use it with a glitter glue, otherwise you're in for a world of trouble. Or with a setting spray of sorts. I'm going to use my brand new Pixie Epoxy and just apply the tiniest bit over my mobile lid over top of that red shade without taking it up too far into my crease, because I still want to be able to blend over there. Now, to apply the Blood Moon 005 shade, I am just going to use my trusty fingers. Anyway, that whole rambling was just to let you know why my videos have taken such a turn the last few months, year even, and to ask whether it really bothers you that I talk about Pat McGrath so much. I mean, I still have my Project 5 wears going on, so I'm basically covering my whole lid with that Blood Moon 005 shade. That is so pretty. That shade is really sparkly. Gorgeous. So the next thing I want to do is I want to mix this shade here, which is the champagne type of shade, together with the topper shade, and I'm first going to apply the champagne shade as it is as my inner corner highlight. And then I'm going to take this topper shade here and stamp it onto the inner corner, and I am probably going to mix that in a little bit with the orange shade to see how that looks like. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this shade, but not too much. I don't want this topper shade to overpower the Blood Moon 005 shade, and I'm just going to sort of stamp it on like this to make kind of like a mixture of the two almost. You would think they wouldn't mix well because the topper shade is so cool toned and the Blood Moon 005 shade is obviously so warm toned, but I do feel like it works. What do you guys think? Now, in order to sort of wing a liner, I am going to take a angled brush like this, and I'm going to take this super dark brown shade over here and basically wing a liner with this shade dry. Speaking of Pat McGrath, she has recently released her Christmas collection, which is once again called the Opulence Collection, just to confuse everyone when they're googling for Pat McGrath Opulence. I had seen leaked images of this. I don't know if they were leaked or, you know, it was supposed for them to be leaked, I'm not sure. But anyway, I saw leaked images of the little quads that she has released now for Christmas already back in July. And I know that once again, you in the US have the right to buy everything first, especially through Sephora. and we in Europe here are probably going to be the last ones to receive it. That still really bothers me. Especially because I had heard that those quads would be a Selfridges exclusive, so I sort of expected them to come first on Selfridges and then for you guys. It would have made my day if we finally had the upper hand here in Europe. Unfortunately, as usually, we don't. She has released 2 of them, and if I don't forget, I'm going to link the blog post which sort of like leaked the images. It was actually someone who had attended the Selfridges. I fucked up my wing a little bit, by the way, so I'm going to fix it with a makeup remover wipe. So the images were originally leaked by a blogger who went to like a Christmas launch party for Selfridges. So that's the reason I thought they would be a Selfridges exclusive, because the person said they would be. And there are 3 quads, but for some reason now on the Sephora website there are only 2 of those available. So for those of you that don't know, she has released quads of her topper shades, of like the special topper shades. They are ridiculously expensive, but yet again they are not 125 euros. And if you're someone who $125, and if you're someone who only wanted to try her topper shades without bothering with the rest of her formulas, this is the way to go, I guess, for you. Yes, it is expensive, but her topper shades are, I think, an expensive formulation. They do come in the same black lacquered packaging, but just in a smaller size. So the packaging is also much more luxurious than the cardboard packaging for the previous Opulence collection release for the Christmas 2018. I am pretty sure these are coming eventually to Selfridges. I think it's releasing on her website and probably Selfridges in October. I don't know when in October, who knows, but for some reason both Selfridges and the Pat McGrath Instagram people are being extremely unhelpful, because I have tried to find out the release date of these on Selfridges, and for the life of me nobody wants to give me a straight up answer. What am I gonna do for my lower lash line? You know what, we could theoretically put that purple shade on the lower lash line. Let me do that. I'm first going to quickly tightline my upper waterline over here. Then I'm going to take one of my Kiko long-lasting eyeshadow sticks. This one is in the number 16. And I'm going to apply that in my waterline as a base for the Pat McGrath purple shade. Now I'm going to use the same pencil brush on which I had the inner corner shades, and I'm going to apply the purple. This purple has a very smooth and beautiful texture, but it's definitely not like a very sparkly shade. And here is the final look, which I completed also with a Pat McGrath lipstick. I used the Blitz Trance in Blood Rush. It is a gorgeous red shade infused with very like fine gold shimmer to it. It's a beautiful formula, very comfortable to wear. Definitely not like a glittery, gritty type of lipstick. So with this I want to basically conclude the video. I want to keep it short and sweet, just, you know, playing with Midnight Sun and chatting a little bit to you about whether I'm going overboard with talking about Pat McGrath on my channel. Please let me know in the comment section below. Don't be afraid to give it to me straight, because I appreciate your input. Of course, it's a bit like a two-way street. I mean, I am here on YouTube mainly for my own fun, relaxation, and, you know, I'm not here to indulge you. But at the same time, I want to still be in conversation with you, because that's what I enjoy most about YouTube. So if you're bored and you don't come to my videos and you don't talk to me, that also makes no sense. So let's find a balance. Let me know in the comment section whether you enjoy or really don't enjoy me talking about Pat McGrath so much, because I would really take your input seriously. I mean, if you really want me to talk about more things than just her products, which I still do, you know, it's not like I don't do other types of videos. I actually have a couple of like really different videos in the works. I just have to edit them. But that being said, when it comes to like new makeup type of releases, I do talk a lot about Pat McGrath, because I am not, and I'm never going to be, the type of YouTuber that goes out and buys most of the things that have been released, because first of all, I don't have the budget for it. Second of all, it's too overwhelming and I don't know what I would do with that much makeup. So my makeup purchases are very curated to my personal taste, which recently has been happens to be Pat McGrath. So in terms of like new releases and talking about new makeup, it's probably going to be a little bit like more luxury makeup centered, and especially Pat McGrath. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see more from me, then don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!